Hello, everybody, and welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to the match reaction show. It's finished. West Ham United 1, Liverpool 3, and I'm joined with, well, you were smiling before we started on, but I'm sure he's smiling on the inside. We got Ayush Gupta joining us. Ayush, how are you doing today?
Much better than previous weeks.
Well, yes, it's been a great week, hasn't it? And I'm wearing a hat, as you
Yes.
can see. I've got a bit of a bad headache. I tell you who else has a bad headache almost every day. That's Mo Salah. He has a bad headache almost every day, but he doesn't have bad days on the field, so it doesn't matter. But I mean, it's been an interesting week. I mean, what a difference it makes actually in a week, because I think a week ago everybody was we had the FA Cup game and everybody's talking about how Liverpool are maybe starting to slide. The whole thing is, well, Liverpool are on the way down, United are on the way up. Maybe I thought it was premature, but a week later, well, I think this week what it has taught us. In fact, this whole month, I think now what's changing is that Man City and Liverpool are probably saying, you know what, United, Leicester, West Ham, Southampton, you guys have had your fun, you guys have had your 15 minutes of fame or whatever. It's not time for the big boss to come back and then let's take this home now. I think we're done. That's what it feels like. But a really good performance today. But I mean, it wasn't that way at the start. I think when you look at the score at the end, you might think 3-1. Well, that's a routine Liverpool win. Ayush, but we'll start with the team news. Were you surprised that Firmino was rested or dropped, whatever the thing is? Because I thought he played very well against. In the last game, he played pretty well. I believe it was against Spurs. Yeah, he played pretty well. They've got Brighton at home next. You wouldn't, if you really wanted to rest him, you could have probably rested him there. Were you surprised at the decision to rest him for this game?
Yeah, I was definitely surprised by the number of changes. In fact, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
bringing in Milner and in forward line Shaqiri and both Origi starting. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't pretty confident at the beginning, and the first half suggested the performance
Mm-hmm.
itself. It was rusty, and Origi definitely lacks the finesse of Firmino.
Mm-hmm.
So it showed in the performance in the first half, but gradually the team grew into it, and it was definitely a performance of two halves.
Yep. Yeah, that first half was pretty laborious. I mean, probably the system was different as well because it was almost Shaqiri playing as a false nine, and you had
Yeah.
Origi and Salah playing as wingers. So it was sort of a different system. Probably maybe because of the fact that he didn't have Mane, he didn't have Firmino on the bench, so they did lack a little bit. I mean, it's one of those things, isn't it? I think West Ham had a game plan in that first half, which they executed to perfection, where they knew what they had to do and what they wanted to do. And Liverpool, maybe that is still an area of concern, that when teams sort of have a low block and they're not giving a lot of space away, that's still an issue for Liverpool, that they can't really break that down.
I think there's a mental block with David Moyes' team forever when they play against Liverpool. You can trace it back to his Everton days and United days. I mean, he has never, had the courage or whatever. I mean, he has some mental block against Liverpool. I mean, and he always plays with a low block against us, and he has never won. So it wasn't a surprise. I mean, so I was silently confident about this match, but if West Ham would have dared to attack us in the first half, I mean, we were there for turn taking. But I mean, their front line with Antonio, and I mean, they have dangerous players who could have troubled us with their pace and power in set pieces, and we considered on the set piece itself. So thankfully, later on, when the match was already decided, so yeah.
Well, you said dare to attack, and I'll pick that point about daring to attack, because something happened when they dared to attack. But second half, so this is a funny moment. I mean, it's not funny. Maybe it's funny. It's interesting as well. There's a James Miller slip on the ball, which allows Michael Antonio to have a chance. He misses it, which I think he should have scored, but he misses it. Right then, Milner comes off. He's obviously not happy about coming off, and he's having a bit of a chat with Jurgen Klopp. Don't know what was said, but I think Jurgen Klopp was probably telling him, Milner, I've seen the future, and within 2 minutes, Curtis Jones is going to assist a goal for Mo Salah. And Milner just goes, you don't know what you're talking about. And then and then Curtis Jones wins the ball in midfield. Something that Liverpool hadn't been doing actually a lot of, and I think that's an issue for them
Yeah,
this season, is they're not winning the ball early enough in midfield, which they did here.
yeah.
And immediately he goes on the run. He puts in a nice pass to Salah, who finishes off. And Klopp's already telling Milner, guess what? I can see the future. I told you. And then he was laughing and smiling. But that was just a brilliant move, wasn't it? I think Curtis Jones changed the game when he came on, didn't he? He just looked like someone who could win the ball high up the pitch and allow Liverpool to attack more.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Curtis Jones has a bright future. I mean, his first touch and his balance on the ball in that especially crowded midfield when the team are playing low block. We require that kind of players to just go by through because Salah with has he can run on defenders straight on, but when you need that tricky part, that's where Thiago, the talent of Thiago and the likes of Curtis Jones comes into play. I mean, Milner is all guts and glory, but he will do your sliding tackles. But when you get required a final third in a finesse that he is lacking. So Klopp
Hmm.
definitely made the perfect change at the right moment, and it turned on the game. I mean, definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
since he came on, that the team tempo change. I mean, he has that youthful exuberance. So we were pressing higher up on the pitch and passing the ball more quickly and fluidly. So that was a change.
Yeah. I think that's it. I think Erling Jones coming on made a difference just in the way that he plays, the fact that he can win the ball quickly, pass it quickly as well. I think that really made
Yeah.
a big difference. And then that second goal, which is vintage Liverpool, and I put a tweet out
Oh,
at halftime. I said the thing that's stopping Liverpool is the fact that teams are not overcommitting an attack. They're not daring to attack them. They know what to do.
yes.
You thought about daring attack, and West Ham at the 2-3 minute period where they were daring to attack, and they had a corner. And it's just one of those things, right? You put in a very poor. It was a very poor corner. It was very bad, and immediately the ball goes out. Cresswell should have probably won it, but he didn't. He decided not to. And there was I don't know what happened then. The West Ham defender was running towards the ball for a second, then he stops running towards the ball and he's like, "Well, no, I'm not running. I'm going to follow the runner." And Shaqiri puts in a wonderful pass, and Salah just finishes off. That is vintage Liverpool, isn't it? From last season, the
Yes.
ability to just devastatingly counter attack in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Trent has come and is coming slowly coming back into form. So he was the one who started that move. He saw the gap in front of Shaqiri and just played the ball perfectly in that right area. And then Shaqiri, as we know, he has that perfect left foot. I mean, he can ping the ball right and the first touch of Salah. So everything just came into perfection and the finish from right from the back to the front. It was poetry in motion, and it was
Hmm.
definitely a beautiful counter-attacking goal.
Yeah.
I hope the crowd was there to cheer up it up, but still, the goal was definitely one of the best goals I've seen this season.
Yeah, and I think they scored a very similar goal against Spurs as well. I can't remember who scored it, but there was another counter attack. I think it was Salah. I think not Salah. Sorry, Mane was the one who scored that.
Mane,
I think.
yes, Mane,
Yeah. So
yes.
it looks like they're starting to get into gears with that and starting to get back to that sort of last season's rhythm. In
Again,
terms
it
of.
it will only happen if the other team is committed to attacking game. I mean,
Mhm.
if they just sit back, I mean, Salah and Mane, it will be very tough for them to break. I mean, just go through bypass through all the five players in the defense. So
Yeah.
you need. That's why Klopp always after his press conference he's saying that the other team was sitting back, they didn't play football. So because he knows that that's a shortcoming and. If the other team is patient, then we will find it hard.
Yeah. No, you need different ways to score, and you can't begrudge a team that parks the bus or decides not to attack. That's totally fine. But yes, that totally makes sense. That once you get the upper hand, though, it's about how you make it count. And I think Liverpool made that count
Yeah.
once they got that first goal. And I think that's where Curtis Jones is important because winning the ball high up the pitch allows you to then transition very quickly. I think that's where Liverpool are very dangerous in transitions from defense to that. They can do it really, really quickly. So
Yeah.
not having those ball winners in midfield, Fabinho and Henderson having to play them in defense, I think that affects them a lot because I don't think Wijnaldum or Thiago can do it to the extent that those guys can do it, where they can really win the ball back really quickly and move forward. I mean, are you sure was your man of the match?
Just because of the brilliant finishes, I mean, Salah is my take. I mean, otherwise, I would have chosen for the centre back pairing of Mendo.
Mm-hmm.
But just for that perfect first touch and breaking the deadlock with that beautiful curler, I mean, both the goals were taken beautifully by Salah. First was definitely the most important goal of the match because it opened up the game and West Ham started to move forward and which opened the spaces. So, and if Salah can maintain that such form, then we can win individually also he can win us games in
Mm-hmm.
which teams are not committed to attack.
You started with centre back pairing. I thought Nat Phillips was really good today. I think Salah hadn't scored the two goals the way he did. I think Nat Phillips would have
Yeah.
got a lot more praise today. Do you think Liverpool need Mustafi if they have Nat Phillips? I mean, that's the rumors right now is that Mustafi is coming. It's Mustafi, right? I mean, I know he's German and Klopp is German, so maybe there's a connection there. But do they need Mustafi if you have Nat Phillips?
I think I would think that maybe Klopp can extract the best out of Mustafi. I mean, Mustafi is there after all to a out and out international centre back for Germany. I mean, he has played lots of games. He has more experience than any or all our centre backs combined. They're Hendo. If you combine Hendo, Fabinho, and Matip also because he's most time injured. So Matip and then Nat Phillips and Rice Williams. So all of those combined have lesser. And Mustafi, I mean, he's just lacking confidence and one or two performances. If he can get a clean sheet, who knows? I mean, he can come in handy. I mean, just like Kolo Toure used to come in handy back when during Brendan Rodgers' days. So, and right now we definitely we couldn't we need anything which because as you can see today, I mean, a pure center back definitely makes a difference. Because in those moments in set pieces and winning back those high balls and those crosses, that's vital. And Fabinho and Hendo, they've got great passing range and everything, but they don't have the physical prowess to guys like Marcus Rashford and your Antonio. So these guys can bully. So you need some brute and force also. So which Nat Phillips definitely brings along with him, and Mustafi is also has got good height and definitely aerial prowess. So he just lacks this positioning. So if Klopp can just say to him that that's the area you don't move out of it, and you have to stay
I,
in the D.
I think positioning is probably the most important thing that you need if you're a Liverpool centre half. That's probably the thing that you need
Yeah,
more. I just feel like, I mean, this is just my opinion. I feel like centre halves need a run in the side. Like if you give them 3-4 games, then you can see what they're all about. And I think if Nat Phillips gets
right.
that run, I think he could be a good defender. I just don't think he's getting that run at the moment. I think he is probably right now at this moment he's already better than Mustafi. So that's just my opinion. I get why Klopp maybe wants more cover as well at centre half because it seems like whoever plays there seems to get injured anyway. Fabinho is now
I
injured,
think
Matip is injured.
I think that
So
Liverpool has made up their mind that are not that Net Phillips is not the future for Liverpool. I mean that's for sure. He's getting the chances because they I think Klopp believes more in Rice Williams due to his style of play, his positioning, and his he's more similar to Van Dijk. But
he has the head of Van Dijk. Is that what it is?
yeah, but otherwise, if you compare both Nat Phillips and Rice Williams, clearly Nat Phillips is
Better
ahead
one.
in terms. Yeah, he's better
Hmm.
in terms of positioning and everything.
Anyway,
He
let's
keeps
move
it
on.
simple. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's one. I mean, no, we're running out of time. So I'm going to ask you
yeah,
about Mo Salah. You said Mo Salah is your man of the match, and I think I would agree. I think Mo Salah
yeah.
is the man of the match. Is he back to his best now? 4 goals in the last 3 games. I mean, he scored 2 against United. Now he scored 2 against West Ham. Is he back to his best? Do you think? He had a little bit of a blip in the middle there, but now he looks like, and it's good goals too that he's scoring. Like they're very deft touches, very clean
Yeah.
finishes. It looks like he's getting back to his best.
Yeah, that's Salah is always a goal threat. I mean, he will always be, and other teams also know it. And it took two brilliant finishes from him to even those were not tap-ins. So it took his best skills to score those goals, and it will be harder for him to match these kind of finishes in every game. So he will require some more easier assist also. So as long he's definitely at his best this season. I mean, he scored 15 goals. Without his goals, we would definitely be far behind because Mane hasn't scored as many, and Firmino is also short up front. I mean, he had a assist in a short time today also, but he could have taken the shot. I mean, if Salah was in Firmino's place, I have no doubt he would have gone for the hat trick. So that's the difference between Firmino and Salah. So Salah is all about goals, and he can be selfish, but I don't mind him. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's back to
Yeah,
his
I mean, he
best.
must be thinking I should have been where Van Alden was. That that would have been a nice, easy
Yeah,
finish to round up a hat trick, wouldn't it? But
surely.
yeah, I mean, I know there's a Brighton game coming up this midweek, but I think now all eyes are on a slightly move towards Manchester City at the weekend. That's a big game. And I said it, I think yesterday, I think I said it sometime. I said if Liverpool can go into that game, just not having lost against Brighton, then that is a big game, because if City win that, you would expect City then to go on and win the title, because the gap will be too much. But if somehow Liverpool can win that game, it's title race back on, isn't it? It's going to be interesting, that one now. And Liverpool seem to be back in form at least, so it's not going to be an under par Liverpool. It's probably going to be a Liverpool that's a good Liverpool against a good Manchester City team.
I think just for the sake of Premier League neutral fans and for United hopes,
There's no United hopes.
I hope
There's
that
no. We're done. We're
no,
done.
no, no, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I think you are underestimating United a
It's
bit, and
it's just I don't see United being the team to stop City. Like if United were to play City, I would expect City to win. So I think the points gap right now, the way it is, I don't see United winning against City. So City will have those 3 points. It just, that's anyway. This is not about United. Let's not talk about United. Let's just focus on City and Liverpool. Because even we'll talk about them when they have their game, because we'll see what they do
yeah.
against Southampton. But yeah, but it just feels now like that game Liverpool against City is going to be crucial, and it's good for Liverpool to hit form at the right time going into that game.
But I wonder who will be the center back pairing in that game. Because we are chopping and churning the center backs pairing every game. So I just have no idea.
I don't think Klopp knows, and I don't think Pep knows either. So take it whichever way you want. Like, who knows what's going to be the center back pairing?
Yeah.
If Fabinho and Henderson were fit, would you start them as a center back pairing in City? This is a hypothetical question. And I know we're in a disagree. If Fabinho and Henderson are both fit, do you start them as a centre back pairing, or do you put Nat Phillips in and just put one of them in midfield? What would you do?
I personally always go with the traditional centre back. I mean, no matter. I mean, City are no doubt they are not a physical kind of team. I mean, they rely more on their tactical game and passing game, but. Just the centre back brings a more assurance to me. I mean, playing both Fabinho and Hendo doesn't. I don't have the power, and I mean the hope of Klopp who can show these kind of guts. So I would definitely go with centre back.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in that game. We'll be doing the preview for that at some point this week, so stay tuned for that. Maybe Ayush will join us again for that Man City Liverpool game. We'll see if that pans out. But thank you so much, Ayush, for joining me. It's a really great to have you. And I'm sure congratulations to you as well for Liverpool winning. And hope you had enjoyed the game, and hope you have a good rest of your night, or because it's night over there now. So hope you have a good rest of your night.
3 good goals we saw today, so it was definitely a good football game.
Yeah, for sure.
Neutral says well, I mean.
Well, you could say 4. West Ham's goal wasn't too bad either. It's a nice header. It can be good.
But it was kick. Yeah. He didn't even go for the header. I think he put in the kick with Dawson.
Oh yeah, it could have been. That's a blur towards the last 10 minutes. So many goals and chances. It's like they were like making up for lost time. But yeah, it was a good game. It was a good goal as well. That last. You can just give that away. But anyway, thank you so much, Ayush, for joining. Thank you so much for watching the show. If you enjoyed it, please do smash a like. If you enjoyed the show, or if you enjoyed Liverpool winning, you can let us know. And please mention in the comment section, what do you think? What do you think of Liverpool's performance and West Ham's performance? And what do you think is going to happen for the Liverpool-Man City game? That's the one that's now coming up. I know there's one more game in between, but I think that's where we're all focusing on. And of course, if you enjoyed, please do remember to subscribe to the channel if you're new. We really appreciate your support, and it helps us in producing. We want to keep producing more content, more videos. So your subscription really helps with that. I mean, Ayush is already a subscriber, so he can tell you how. We always have, whenever we have guests, all of our guests have already subscribed. So we always tell them how great it is to be a subscriber. For all the free stuff that you get. But thank you so much for watching. Take care. Have a good day or night, whatever time you're watching this, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Take care. Bye bye.